Bye. Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is RWD Low-Key, and in today's video we're talking about the top 10 drift cars in Grand Theft Auto that actually drift, guys. We're not talking about no all-wheel drive, no handbrake smashing, no full speed throwing the car in and all this. No, we're talking about some fully drift specified vehicles, track tested and ready to go, guys. So this list, there's only a handful of cars in Grand Theft Auto that actually do drift seriously, like that will be able to hold down long consistent corners and be able to link and transition and everything that a normal drift car should be able to do. So now, for those of you who have been with us for a while, who've been active on the channel for a while, I still have a lot more drift builds to release on some of these cars. So in the description, I'll keep it updated. Some of those slots will be empty, but I'll be sure to fill in all the drift builds that I have available for the cars on the following list. Now, the link to download this track will be available in the description. For those of you guys on PlayStation and PC, I will be dropping some tutorials on showing you guys how to make your own drift tracks to customize and test, so no worries on that, guys. So a quick thing about this list, everything is not organized in order of performance. Only until we get to the top 5 will the cars be ordered in my preference for being the best drift cars in the game, being in the top 5 from, least to greatest, or greatest to least rather. We're gonna go from 5 to 1, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We're gonna get right into the list. So yeah, look at that wheelie, it was dope. So coming in at number 10, we have the Bravado Youga. So this van right here has to be the most, not even gonna say underpowered, just the most least powerful car on this list. But that's not stopping it from getting around the track, as you see right here. So you guys can pick this up on the internet. It's on Southern San Andreas Motors. You guys can go pick that up. It's not too expensive, and it holds down some pretty decent angles. You see him running the wall right there. Now, when you guys are trying to drift this car, it's a lot of weight transfer, so you're gonna have to throw it in and keep that momentum going. As soon as you lose momentum in this car, it does not have enough power to just pick up and get back into it. Once you lose the momentum from your first entry, that needs to stay with you all the way until you're done doing what you gotta do, guys. So yeah, Bravado Youga, definitely a good car coming in at number 10. Nice little drift van for you. I mean, this is a nice car, guys. This is like some serious action right here. I was actually really pleasantly surprised by how well this car did on the track. I was thinking, I'm like, yo, am I even gonna be able to get this around the track for the video? And yes, it's holding it down mighty nice, to be honest. Holding it down pretty damn good. Coming in at number 9, we have the Banshee 900R. So guys, this car, man, this car would have been at number 1 straight up. I'm just gonna say that right now. This car would have been flat out the best drift car in the game if Rockstar didn't do whatever the hell. Still don't know to this day what they did to this car. Now, the only reason it's still dropping so low is just because of how twitchy and just awkward this car is to drive. Now, I'm sure you guys know, if you've drifted this car on day 1 when it came out. I'm telling you guys, when this car came out on day 1, before they applied that after hotfix or whatever they did, this car was sliding so good, man. It was just so buttery, so clean, so smooth. And then I don't know what happened. There was a hot fix, and then all of a sudden the car just started spinning out like crazy. So I will have a build for this. I'm trying to do the best I can, guys, to try and keep this car from spinning out. But this is all I'm going to be able to do, and it's only going to be able to sit at that number 9 slot. Sliding into number 8, we got the Hotknife. I don't even know what make this car is, but guys, yes, the Hotknife can slide. I was just as surprised as you probably are right now. This is actually a late entry, and somebody was like, hey man, you got to add the Hotknife, and that's a pretty good drift car. I'm like, what? The Hotknife? Are you serious? Now, this car is pretty weird to drift, actually. It's a lot more consistent as opposed to the Banshee. That's why I'm going to put it ahead of it. And I just can't really explain this car, man. It's like it has this weird lateral motion to it, right? Where it just goes completely sideways. Kind of if you ever play Forza Horizon, where you just max out the camber and the car just wants to go sideways completely. That's exactly what this Hotknife is doing here. Now, I don't have too much experience in this car, but you can see here I'm holding it down pretty nice. Pretty decent amount of angle, if I do say so myself. And it looks not terrible. Doesn't look too bad. It doesn't really give off that drip car vibe. I'd rather see this car on the drag strip. But yeah, man, you can't beat this car. The clutch kick is strong. It's easy to control. You're not really going to be spinning out. You're not going to spin out damn near at all in this car, guys. As we're running that wall at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have the Fusilade, Fusilade. however you call it, guys. I have no idea how to pronounce the damn name. This is the Chrysler Crossfire, and this car is yet again another victim of Rockstar's hot fixes. From what I remember, this car used to be a lot better, guys. Now it is just so absolutely tail happy, it's ridiculous. We're actually running a very interesting setup on this car, no turbo, with a spoiler and all types of armor and just type of weird craziness. But yeah, guys, this car is pretty good. It can hold down some pretty decent lines, no lie. It can hold down some pretty decent lines. Very difficult to drift. I would not say this is an easy car. Definitely not recommending to anyone who's new to GTA drifting. I would not even think about this car right here. I mean, it's just another one. It made it to the list. You know, it's pretty high up there because I feel like if you do truly master this car, you'll be able to pull down some nice, you know, long, consistent drifts. But at the same time, the tendency to spin out all the time is just ridiculous, as you see my lead spun out right there. But yeah, guys, Fusilade. Number 6, we have the Virgo Classic. Now, the Virgo Classic is another one of those slower drift cars, guys. This thing is very sluggish, but it is very consistent, very easy to drift. I've said in my past tutorials that the Faction's the easiest car to drift, but it might be this granddaddy old school thing right here. I'm not sure, guys. This thing, all you do, you clutch kick, you mid-drive speed, whatever you call it, man, and you're just full lock. You basically just turn the wheel and you're good to go and sliding. Now, it doesn't have as much power per se as compared to the Faction, which of course will be higher on the list. We're getting to that top 5 slowly but surely, just as this Virgo Classic is slow, but you guys get what I'm saying. And it's pretty easy to control. Like you see, I'm running these walls very easily and I'm almost spinning out though, but you really are not gonna have too much trouble spinning out in this car unless you're trying to do some extra craziness. You know, I was trying to run that wall a little bit too much. But yeah, guys, this Virgo Classic, it's a good car. Definitely a solid, expensive drift car, but you gotta have it in the garage, and it made the number 6 on the list. Coming in first for the top 5 is the Vigero. Now, the Vigero has always and always will be, well, can't say always will be, but it's still a pretty damn good drift car right now. We've been through a lot of updates, a lot of hot fixes where this car was actually really bad, then it came back, then it was good, then it was bad, then it was good, then it was bad. But guys, this car is very powerful. It reminds me a lot of the Ruiner, which is completely dead. If anybody was hoping, by the way, if the Ruiner was on this list, absolutely not. That car is dead on, I don't even know if it's good on 360 anymore, but damn sure it's dead on next gen. But yeah, this Vigero has a lot of power, guys. When you clutch kick this car, the tires are spinning really nice and you're getting enough power to carry you through all the way through the corner. I find this to be one of the more balanced cars out there. It's not too powerful, not too underpowered. You're not going to find yourself spinning out as much, and it's just a really good, just overall kind of car. If you're new to drifting, you can probably hop in a Vigero and you won't be too bad. It won't be too hard for you to get into. But yeah, man, this Vigero can slide though. Coming in at number 4, we have the king of consistency, the Willard Faction. Now, this is the car I chose to use for my drift tutorial for one reason and one only, is because this car is so consistent, guys. This car is so easy to get to slide. The wheels will consistently keep spinning with not too much effort, so it's easier for a beginner to get in this car, as well as when you get in advanced. It's really easy to tandem with other players, and you can just control this car so much more as opposed to the Vigero, which came in at number 5. Now, we have some more cars up ahead of it that I was really debating whether this car should be higher or not, but I'll talk about that in a minute, just because of this car's body style. This car is huge, guys. If you ever driven this car on the streets, you know what I'm talking about. You can't even go over a curb without almost flipping this car over. So I mean, I didn't want to knock it down because of that, but granted that there's pretty much curbs everywhere and it kind of gets in the way sometimes. I mean, if we're track drifting, it's all good, but this body, man, and it's so long, man. The transitions are kind of a pain in the ass in this car, but nevertheless, it's a pretty good car. Definitely recommend getting it. It's a must-have. No, this is a must-have. You gotta have a Faction, guys. Come on. And the fan favorite at number 3, the Benefactor SCHWARZER. Now, the SCHWARZER, the only reason it's not gonna get higher, I know everybody loves their SCHWARZER, man, but it just has so much limits. This car is very limited. As it is easy to drive, it's very easy to tandem with, but I just feel like with the cars you'll see ahead of us, we'll be able to do a lot more than the SCHWARZER. But at the same time, it's just, you know, it's a very consistent car. You can hold down tandems. You can just transition pretty nicely. It has a good steering lock. There's nothing really bad you can say about the SCHWARZER, except that is another one of those slower, sluggish cars that you just cannot go too fast with, and that's just not my like I said, this is my personal list, and that's not my preference. You know, I like a little bit more speed, guys, and it does tend to spin out on occasions, but it's still nevertheless, like I said, it's a good car. You know, not my personal favorite. I like the car, drift in it, but you know, it's kind of whatever to me. But yeah, number 3. At number 2, we have the Redwood Gauntlet, looking straight out of Formula D, track ready. This car has so much power, guys, and it can do everything and more that the cars previously on the list can do, and it can just do even more than that. So I still haven't had too much experience with this car, but from what I have done with it, it's very nice, guys. Super balanced. Everything you want in a drift car as far as Grand Theft Auto goes is here with this Gauntlet. The regular Gauntlet as well will drift, but not as well. It's just not as quite powerful as this variant. So if you guys want to go pick up a regular Gauntlet, you can feel free to grab that one too, and it will perform pretty well. I wouldn't say it to be number 2. I don't even know where I put that car, to be honest, but yeah, this Gauntlet, guys, I'm really glad that they added this. You know, this is a new car as well, so that was really exciting to finally have a new drift car out of all these years, because if I'm gonna be real with you guys, all we've done is lost cars over the years. All we do is lose car after car after car. Still, you know, rest in peace to the ruiner, guys. Can we have a moment of silence, please, for the ruiner? Rest in peace. God. Damn. And here we go, number 1. I mean, is this a surprise, guys? Anybody who knows me, anybody who has seen the videos, you already know the Rapid GT has always been number 1 and will always be number 1. Actually, I don't know, they might add some drift cars, but let's just joking, they're not gonna add any drift cars. But thing about this Rapid is how late I actually was to start drifting this car, and it would have been so much crazier if I was able to test this car. Like, I never really thought the upgrades that we found on this car, if you've seen the Rapid GT RS video, we never even thought to test that so late in the game to see, hey, maybe if these upgrades will really make a difference, and they turned out they did. So I can only imagine if we would have been drifting this car from the start, guys, from the day 1. I don't even know what that would have been like, man, because the traction has increased so much since the past updates, and the physics have changed so many times. You know, if we would have had this car in its golden age, I can't even, well, I can't even think about it right now. It's just got me all. But anyway, guys, Rapid GT, I mean, what am I going to say? You guys already know. I mean, if you don't know, you need to get to know and check the description for the build. I do have a build on this. Like I said before, I will be getting some more builds. I'll be updating this description as more videos come out. I'll come back to this video. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed what you saw today, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let me know your top 10 list, how you feel about my top 10 list. And that's about it, man. I'm out. Peace.